See a new sign. There we go. Fairy Village Woods Walk and Talk. That's a new sign. Hi. Cool. Yeah, that one wasn't there recently. I think there was a sign over here, but not there. We're waiting for Amber, don't worry. Where's Mollie Collie? Mollie Collie! I see Amber. Where's Mollie Collie? There she is, Mollie Collie, with a big sticky. Mollie Collie got a big sticky, isn't she, Mollie Collie? But Chewie wants it. Okay. You decide, you figure it out. There you go. Alright, Lucy made noise. I only repeated the noise that she made. So, ish. Ish. Being the word for that, really. Right. Ish. Did the same as her. Not really. Anyway, right, okay. Just uploaded the video from last night's Midnight Walk and Talk. And in the comments, in the description, I was going to write something that I think I'll talk about instead of writing. Because last night in that one I said that what the leaders really need to do is speak to the people who they know are not just churchgoers but spirit-filled, and tell them to take the next few weeks, seek God, pray, seek God as to what God wants to do with this church, with the church you have. Yeah. What measures does God want to take? What does he want to get rid of? What does he want to put in there? All in all, you've got to do this. Oh, we come down the wrong path. Okay. No worries, we'll get to the same path. Right path in a second. Hi. So yeah. Waiting again for the Mollie Collie. Are we waiting again for the Mollie Collie? For the beautiful baby girl? Yes, indeed. There she is. Yeah, you've got that opportunity. Because churches can't meet. Because they can't meet. Oh, there's a normal sign. There you go. Yeah, because churches can't meet. What are you going to do in this time? Take the time to seek God, to figure out what God wants to do with the church, because he's going to want to do something. That's a certainty. As I say, we keep on asking for revival. We don't understand that revival means to revive. It means to bring back to life. Now I see it as an operating theatre. What needs to be cut out? Yeah, what is suffocating the body that needs to be removed so that the body can breathe and function? Yeah, it's like you've got things going on with the body where the muscles can't function because growths have grown in there. Be that religion, be that tradition. You can hear the rusty mouth aircrafts from the RAF. Very noisy, very inconsiderate. That's one way I'll put it. They're incredibly inconsiderate. Wait, would you stop peeing over the houses? Mollie! They're the fairies' houses. I'm sure the fairies are going to come and give you a smack. You keep doing that. Oh well, there you go. Yeah, you have whatever amount of months left where the governments are going to be panicky. See, I was originally speaking to God earlier about the fact that, to me, the leaders should be getting onto the government, certainly any local government ministers, and saying, come on, what are you doing? You've got everything locked down for what? Yeah, we as churches, we need to be able to be functional so that we can help people. So we can be there for people. You know, people are suffering mentally. Yeah, we need to help them with that. Which, of course, in most churches' cases will probably be a lie because they've never done anything like that in the whole life of their church. It's what they should be doing, so they can say, this is what we should be doing. That's fair, that's not a lie. If they say, this is what we were doing, we can't do it now, that's a lie. That would be a lie. But then, of course, God then said, but isn't this a perfect time? for the churches to get right. Yeah, for churches and Christians, because it's exactly the same with a Christian and a church. Spend time seeking God. What do I need to get rid of? Because there will be things that we need to get rid of. There'll be habits. Yeah, there'll be things that we allow to take over our time, take over our days. Some of those things, God's going to say, get rid of that. It's not good. It's not healthy for you, like Netflix. Stop binging on Netflix. Binge on God. If you're a Christian, binge on God. What are you doing binging on Netflix all the time? You have a fantastic opportunity to develop the sort of relationship with God that you never dreamed you could have. Because you're in a situation where, certainly a lot of you still can't go to work. You might be working from home, but because you're working from home, it means you don't have to travel. So the time that you would usually travel, spend with God. Spend in praise and worship. You know that you used to spend all that time travelling, whether it was 10 minutes, whether it was half an hour, whether it was an hour, each way. Spend that hour before work. Spend that hour after work with God. Or be it half an hour, or be it 10 minutes. Spend whatever time you would have been travelling with God. That's an extra bit of time that you can spend with God. During that time, you can build a relationship with God that you wouldn't have built otherwise. Because you've got this time now available that you didn't have before. Use it. I don't know what other people are saying. Whether you've got ministers out there saying the same, I don't know. There should be. Of course there should be. If they're being guided by God, then they're going to be saying similar things to this. Although, don't for 1 second think that I am saying that I'm guided by God 100%, because I'm not saying that. I'm guided by stupidity as much as anything else. Sometimes God gets through. Sometimes God says something that's like, okay, and I then talk about that. But guarantee you, there's a lot of times when God stops talking that I continue. Shouldn't do, because according to my own messages that I put out there, when God stops, you should stop. Yeah. But one could say I'm in training. Because unlike these ministers that go out and preach and teach that are supposed to be trained, they didn't get the training by God. They just went out and started doing it. So I'm not going to do that. Well, I'm not doing that. I'm doing my bit here to an audience of maybe 2 or 3 or 10 or 20. All depends on how many decide to click on the video and listen to it. That's cool. I don't care. These videos will be on YouTube for as long as they're on YouTube. They'll be on the internet somewhere, won't they? They'll be on YouTube now. They'll be on wherever they go to at some point in time. And the reality is that, if I have a ministry in the future, I imagine people will go back and watch some of these videos. Some people will go back trying to catch me out. And that's fine, you can do that. No, I'm saying you can do that. You'll be able to catch me out because I've caught me out a few times. And you can do that. But it's a learning curve. This is a learning curve. I'm not going out and saying I have the authority of God to go out and preach and teach. Because at the moment, I don't, not really. I sort of do, but I sort of don't. There's nothing official there, is there? Because I'm not being put into a position where God is sending me out to people. So until that happens, until I accept such an invitation, I'm not going out and claiming that I have the authority of God, or that I'm allowing God to speak through me. Because I'm trying to do that, of course. Of course. But on a day of judgment, when God says, what did you do? We can't now say we didn't have the time. We can't now say we didn't have the time because we clearly now have the time. Clearly we now have the time. And so, take advantage of it. Build relationships with people as well. You know, certainly if there's people in your life that you don't have a great relationship with, that you want to have a great relationship with, again, now you have the time. You can do both. No reason why you can't. Because it's quite likely with those people, either you'll be an influence to them and you'll help them to build a better relationship with God, or vice versa. They might be an influence on your life and help you to have a better relationship with God. You really don't know who God's going to choose to use in your life, or how God's going to choose to use you in the lives of other people. So, yeah. You know, seek God as to how to use his time wisely. Things are very different now. They might not be like this forever. They might go back to the busy and bustle that we had before. They might go back to that. And they might go back to that very soon. Certainly in the UK. The UK government is starting to get a lot of hassle now for their decision making. Yeah, all these false positives, tests and whatever. Certainly the possibility that they're false positives is quite high. The fact that they're now talking again about sending people from hospital back into care homes and elderly people with coronavirus. The care homes have got to accept these people back into their homes, or into their homes, not necessarily back because they might not have been there. But they need to go there, but they're full of coronavirus, that they're going to be going into old people's homes and infecting loads of people there who are incredibly vulnerable. And again, it's government decisions, but they're making these decisions based upon these tests that they've been doing that have quite likely been picking up bits of virus that were in people that they had, that's been in them for months, where the virus is not contagious anymore. But the government panics. I mean, one thing I will say is that whatever the situation is, this government has to be held accountable. This leader, whether it's Scottish leader, UK leader, they have to be held accountable for the decisions that they're making, because they are making some decisions that are putting people's lives at risk. Elderly people, vulnerable people. And they're doing it because the scientists are saying that their projections suggest that this may be the case. But again, scientists at the beginning of this were saying that 100,000 people or more would die. That didn't happen. That was massively exaggerated from what was really likely to be the case. Sweden never had a lockdown. Never had a lockdown. And they've been using the same precautions as we have, face masks and washing hands and keeping distance and trying to protect the people that are most vulnerable, telling them to stay indoors as much as they can. And their numbers of coronavirus deaths are lower than ours, percentage-wise, of the population. So the governments are under pressure to stop with these measures and to just open things back up, really. To have a sort of situation like Sweden. But as I say, if that happens, churches will meet again. The hustle and bustle will start again very, very quickly. So how long you've got to take advantage of this situation as it is right now, where you're at home more, where you don't have to travel into work, where you don't meet as a church, but you can spend that time in prayer, seeking God as to how to do your church. So that when you go back, you might be able to set something up that's going to be incredible. It's going to be a real blessing to the people living in your area. The citizens in your area, the local community that never really had a living church. And now you're going to go back to have a living church, because that's the key, a living church. Because in most cases we have churches that are spiritually dead. So basically dead churches. Living churches. Churches that are living, breathing, functioning bodies that are walking and talking and healing and delivering and doing all of that. Casting Crowns song, If We Are the Body, listen to that. That's talking about what a living church would be doing. If we are the body, why aren't his hands healing? Etc, etc, etc. If we are the body is supposed to be a living body. A body guided by the head. To do the work of God. To be vessels for God. That church itself should be a vessel full of vessels. It should be sending those vessels out to do God's work. And to do God's work locally in the community. And nationally and internationally. That's what church should be. Amber! Right, you can have the apple. Leave it. Lucy, leave. Go on, Amber. Go on, Amber, you have it, Bubs. It's an apple. You can have it, Bubs. It's a bit dirty, but go for it. I don't care. She found an apple. I'm not going to say... There's a bit of muck over it, but to be honest, I think our system will deal with all that. Sorry, Luce, I'm going to ease it because you've got babies. It's funny the way... It's like when I give Amber a biscuit, she'd take it, and she'd take it to an area where there's no other dog, so she can eat it in peace. Like that. If another dog comes over to her and tries to take that bit of apple, she'll take it, she'll move. Riley's come over, so she's moving her head away, so Riley can't get it. Hello, Wuss, what you doing? Your big sticky. Did you hit me with your big sticky? Hit me with your ribbon stick. Now that was... God, who was that? Hit me with your ribbon stick. Who was that? That was an old early 80s song, that was. Oh my Lord. Answers below, please, in the comments. Hit me with your ribbon stick. Who was that? Don't know. Oh, the sticky's breaking. Oh, it's a breaking sticky. Has Mollie got a bit? Hello, Mollie. Did you give me a sticky? See her look around. Someone says Mollie got a bit. She looked at me. Hello. Come on. This way. This way, babies. This way. Getting back to the issue at hand of the church. Yeah. Dealing with the church is imperative. We are... When you walk forward when you first became a Christian, you walk forward, someone said, anyone here who believes that God is calling them, you raise your hand, blah, 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 blah. However you do it, however you did it, you walk forward in a church, in a meeting, at a Christian event, whatever, right? You walk forward, you gave your life. At that point in time, you should have gone to heaven, immediately. The old man died. New creation, right? You became officially a child of God. So a new individual with a new birthday, everything. Your original birthday, you were born into sin. This new birth, you're born into salvation. Right? You should have gone to heaven. You were left here for a purpose. You weren't left here because the Lord is getting heaven ready. Right? That is something that, to a certain degree, we've been taught, and wrongly taught. Because the Lord says, I'm going to make a place for you. Right? What, and take how long to do it? Really? You really think God is that incompetent? That He's taken 2,000 years plus to build heaven? Even though heaven was already there before. So the Lord came down from where? To earth. From heaven to earth. We have the songs. He came from heaven to earth, right? To show the way. Yes? He came from heaven to earth. If he came from heaven to earth, it means that heaven was there beforehand. So therefore it wouldn't take 2,000 years to build heaven. Right? So therefore, it's not a case where the Lord has taken 2,000 years to make the heaven that you want for you. Okay? You were left here for a purpose. To be a vessel for God. For God to use to bring light, to bring glory to Him, to bring light to the world, to set the captives free, to bring those who are destined to hell into His kingdom so that they can be destined to heaven. Like you were. You were left here to pass it on. What you had, what you were given, the opportunity, you're supposed to pass it on in some way. God has given you gifts and understandings that you're supposed to use. That's supposed to be your calling. But you can't exactly do that if you're in a dead church. You've got to be in a living church so you can be trained and raised and equipped to be sent out. Amber, come here, Amber, get in now. Amber, come here. Come here, baby. Come here, Amber. 1 second. So, calm down, Riley. Nutter. He's a nutter. We had to wait for the person to go by with dogs. As you heard, Amber started barking at these two dogs. So I called her back. She came back. She did very, very well. She came back. Because then I've got to hold them, tell them to sit and wait, and then when I let them go, Riley gets way too excited. That's cool. And that's going to happen with us, actually. We are going to get that excited because we've been made to wait. There are some Christians who've been made to wait. And we've got to be so careful, that when we're finally able to fly, we don't crash into things all the time. Because we're like a bird that's been clipped. We're supposed to be flying high, and yet we've been clipped by the church. Basically caged by this dead church. And so as soon as the church is, revived, then we can be set free. The thing of it is, we're going into a situation where, we've got to be wise. Because although things may open up for us, we're going into a life that we don't have understanding of. Even ministry. Ministry is something that most people, most Christians, don't have understanding of. So when you first go into ministry, you've got to be wise. There are going to be opportunities, there are going to be things thrown at you that's going to be the devil trying to tempt you away from that. Because of course, devil's job really is to take people away from God. Is to stop that light from shining. That's what the devil wants. So if you start shining this bright light all around the place, certainly the demonic spirits are going to be a bit concerned. That we see with Yeshua. Yeshua goes and the spirits say, what are you doing? Why are you trying to torment us? What have we done to you? O Lord, O King of Kings, O Lord of Lords, what have we done to you? Well, diddly squat is the answer really, but you're in this situation where if we start shining light, that's going to be the case for us. We are going to get that sort of reaction from the spirit. Chewie, leave it now. It's supposed to be part of that. That was all done and someone's mucked it up. So there you go. We've got to wait for this person to come through. There's a person with a dog on the lead, so we've got to wait. So they might as well go in here for a minute and wander around a bit. I'm not sure, is that the electricity pump or water pump? Oh, I don't know. Something like that. It's a pump. I think Scottish Water, there you go. It's Morriston Reservoir. Yeah, okay. God, this person's come walking slowly. I think it's impressive sometimes when you figure out how slowly people can walk, especially when you're waiting for them to go through. They can really slow up the pace. Oh, here she comes. Here you go. Hi. Well, they can do. They can slow up the pace immensely when you're waiting for them. They seem to start the pace when you're waiting for them. Border Collie, no grass. Don't grass the ass. Chewie, come here. Come here, my boy. Wait here, Bubba. So, hi. All fun and games. I say these are, as I said in the video the other day when I did the walk and talk here, these are the wrong type of trees for heaven. Well, for my heaven, they're the wrong type of trees. Again, I'm standing there waiting for that woman to go with her dog, and the dog's just standing there, and now she's just standing there. Come here, Chewie. We're waiting here. Oh, she's finally called her dog. Well done. She says the dog's a good girl. I'm sure the woman isn't then, really. I know, it's a bit judgmental. I know. Yes, it's just that inconsideration again. You find it so many times with people, with dogs and certainly cyclists on the road. It's the same thing. Come here. Come here a sec. She's still standing still. Someone else. Amber, come here. Amber, come. Here, now. Come here. Someone else. Chewie, come. Come here. Wait for that person as well. Chewie here. Chewie, come. Chewie here now. Riley, here. Chewie, here. Come on, Mr. Chew. Come on. Bouncy, bouncy. Bouncy, bouncy. Bouncy, bouncy. Yes. Mr. Bouncy Boy. And there's Lucy. Well, we'll give him a few minutes, that bloke there, because he's going towards the same area we're going to. So, unless we just walk around again, I suppose we could do that. Right. Could do that. I'll stop the video in a second, but we could walk around again for a little while. I suppose so, yeah. Anyway, yeah. So as I say, I mean, I think that's enough information to be given. Church-wise and individual-wise. Hopefully, in this video, people have, whoever's listened to it to the full video, you would have got a better understanding of why we've been left here, at least that, and about really what church is about and what it should be about. I mean, from the last video, from this video, well, that's good. That's the good thing about this, actually. The video last night and this video sort of follows that. Well, because I was going to write in the description something, as I said at the start of this one, about the fact that we're in the most perfect time to do all of that. And I thought, no. Have that as the next subject. That makes more sense. Therefore, this video follows the last one, which is a good way of doing it, really, that the videos should, if possible, follow each other. You should have a way that if you watch one video and another, then you get a certain amount of understanding, then that understanding opens up a bit more from watching the next one. Aye. That's a good way of doing it. Well, I've got some new dog food as well, just saying that. I had to go down today to get some. it was alright, it's manageable. Got some cereal as well, did all that. Oh, so that was fine. Blinking hot in the car. I'm waiting for this stuff to be delivered. I ordered the stuff that's supposed to deal with scratches in cars. I don't think it's probably going to work, but we've got decent hot weather. This is really the weather by which to do it with. Because of the fact that you want it to dry. And you want the paintwork to be dry before you start putting the thing on. Someone else with dog. And someone else with dog coming after that. Oh my lord. Really? Okay, lots of people with dogs now. And the dog coming behind might be from the same person, I guess. Yeah. Okay. Come on this way. Come this way, Bubs. Alright, so yeah, I'll be going out again tonight, midnight. So we'll have a midnight walk and talk again. No idea what the subject will be. Hopefully it will be following this one. In some way. Time will tell. So you take care, God bless, and I will speak to you soon. Take care, folks. God bless. Bye-bye.